What's up guys, it's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So we are making a video today on Watcher of Realms because there's big news, as there's always seeming to be big news in this game. Tomorrow morning we have the introduction of our latest shard summoning champion, and she's a pretty awesome one. So we're gonna have a look at her today. Her name is Eliza, and it's pretty hard to find her because she's not in the gallery, she's not anywhere else, but she is in the event calendar. So if you go to your event calendar and you click on shard summoning over here, you can see this little lizard looking person, and if you click on her, there she is in all her glory. So why is she so important? Well, I'll tell you why she's so important. Sorry for poking my finger in your face. But she is a lord, first of all, and she's a lord for the Piercer faction. Now, if you don't know this by now, it's pretty damn hard to get hold of lord heroes in this game. So when one comes along, you kind of want to go all out. And Eliza is no different because she has some awesome skills and she makes a really good lord of the Piercers. So let us get into her kit without any further ado. Let us have a look at Eliza right now. So Eliza, like I was saying, she is an absolutely awesome hero, and she is going to be making some waves. We do have another Piercer Lord who is an epic hero as well, and I do have her, and I've completely forgotten her name, so I'm just going to go out and into my roster real quick so that I can remember what the epic Piercer Lord is. Some of you guys are probably going to be kicking me right now, but you know what, that's fine, you kick away. Right, so Lunaria, how could I forget? So Lunaria is our other epic Piercer Lord that we have. We do have Aracha and another one who are legendary lords, but obviously legendary lords probably the most rare heroes in the game, so it's kind of unlikely that you're going to get them. So why are Piercer Lords so good? The reason is because of their lord skill. You can see there they increase the faction team members' basic attributes by 10%, but that's not the bit that counts. The bit that counts is the second bit, where faction team members' attack ranges are also increased. So everybody's attack range gets increased by a single tile, and that is so important for a lot of strategies, especially going into Gear Raid 3. I haven't started out the gear dungeons yet, but I believe it's going to be quite important in one or two of those. But at the moment, Gear Raid 3 is probably the best place for Piercer Lords. So you definitely do need one. And if you don't have one, like I said before, this is your chance to get hold of an awesome one. So let's go back to Eliza and we'll have a little look at what she's actually doing. So it says here, Eliza, the shadow-dwelling scale-skin marksman, prowls the darkened reaches. Beware the tempest of her initial onslaught. That sounds pretty good, and I've got a feeling I know what that might be. For its ferocity knows no equal. So we don't have a huge amount of information on this hero, but we can see here that under her talent bit, or just above her talent bit, it says she gets invisibility, which it does list in her skill, but it also says instant burst damage. Now that is not listed in her skill as far as I can see, but I believe that it will be something special straight away. So if we start off, we'll have a look at her sort of ultimate, or her ultimate first of all, which is called the Moon's Shadow. So we've already mentioned the Piercer Lord faction that gives her that extra range, but the Moon's Shadow, so when deployed, she gains invisibility. So this is the same as what we get with Hatset. And Hatset, when she's deployed, she gets invisibility for 30 seconds, which means that you can deploy her right under an enemy and they're not going to attack her until she fires off. So it's basically, when deployed, she gains invisibility and increases damage by 70%. So that's going to be something like burst damage, but we don't know exactly how it's going to work yet. We're going to have to find out in practice. It says this can only be triggered one time per deployment, which is okay. I mean, that's absolutely fine. This is going to be a hero that you're probably going to deploy, pull out, and then maybe deploy again later on in the battle for longer battles. Her cost is only 11, which is actually really good. So it means that you're going to be able to get her firing off as quick as you do with Idril, even quicker than you do with Hatset. So that's awesome. And also, if we check on the hero details over here, you can see her attack intervals at 2 seconds. Now that is actually really quick. Put a little bit of attack speed on this hero and you can easily get the attack interval down to a second. You can probably shave half of that time off, and that just means she's going to be firing super duper fast. Now her kit does read pretty straightforward and pretty simple. So with this deployment, gaining the invisibility, increasing the damage by 70%. With skill ups, you can get that damage up to 100%. And you can get the effect duration up to 40 seconds, which is a long time. 40 seconds of invisibility is a good long time. And I know exactly where you're thinking you're going to use her, and you're probably right. 100% on the right hand side in Gear Aid 3. Just an excellent option. Her basic attack is 100% damage to one enemy. She prioritizes airborne units, so she will be good in things like Arena against anti-air. But it's just a basic attack, 100% damage. You can get it up to 110 with skill ups. And then the Relentless Strike. So this is her passive, which means that killing enemies turns her basic attack into 2 consecutive strikes. So kind of like an Idril type effect, except that she doesn't sort of gain that extra time on her ultimate when she kills the enemy, but she does gain the extra time on her ultimate with skill ups. So level 2, you can see its duration 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. So an extra 4 seconds on top of that 7-second ultimate. So again, like I said before, and I'll say it again, she is going to be a beast for Gear Aid 3. And I really want to see how that burst damage works, but we will need to wait to be able to find out. Now we've got the awakenings, so we'll have a quick look over those. It is, you know, with these shard summons, you can actually potentially get a first awakening, but when the hero is introduced into the pool, we start pulling them a bit more. So just bear with me, I'm just gonna sort of tap the screen for a second. There we go. Right, so here we go. So Awaken 1, killing enemies now turns the basic attack into 3 consecutive strikes. Instead of 2, you get an extra consecutive strike, which is awesome. Awaken 2, increasing her attack by 200. Awakening 3, we're going to increase the damage to airborne units by 10% upon each deployment, stacking up to 3 times. Okay, that's interesting. So they want you to deploy this hero multiple times, and the more times that you deploy her, the harder she's going to hit against the airborne units. So again, just such an awesome hero for Gear Aid 3. I can't wait to play around with this hero. Awaken 4, you can see there the all-important attack speed. We want to get her running as fast as possible, which, like I said, it's not going to be too difficult. And Awaken 5, killing enemies during the ultimate extends the ultimate's duration by 10 seconds. This can be triggered up to 2 times. Okay, that is bonkers. It's just going to extend the duration on her invisibility. It's going to extend the attack increase or the damage increase, that 70% increase, by an extra 10 seconds, and that can happen up to 2 times. So that's amazing. But what I would say is that the Awaken 1 is really what you want. I mean, that extra, the 3 consecutive strikes just means she's probably going to be viable for the latter stages of Gear Aid, which is absolutely awesome. So I'm really looking forward to her. We do have a calendar available, but it was only shared on YouTube, funnily enough. I'm pretty sure that will be released into the game tomorrow, but I will share a sort of screenshot of it up here. I'm not going to be able to see it, but you guys will be able to see it. So if you want to take a picture of it or a screen grab or whatever it is, go ahead. There it is. You know, take it in. These are the events that you're going to need to complete. They are pretty basic for the shard summonings on epic heroes, so you should have plenty of time to be able to complete these events and to be able to get your hands on Eliza. So yeah, I mean, yeah, just to stress again, if you do not have a Lord in the Piercer faction, she's going to be absolutely essential. If you've got Lunaria is not that good. I mean, she's really only usable for that extended range, but she's not useful in any other areas of the game. So I'm actually thanking my lucky stars that they have released what looks like a really decent epic lord into this faction. So if you do have Lunaria, it's definitely worth getting her. You'll be in the same boat as me then, because I don't have any of the legendary lords. If you do already have a legendary lord in the Piercer faction, you're probably not going to need to be summoning for her, or doing all of the events, but you'll probably get her anyway, because Pokédex is what it is. You want to collect them all. That's just the nature of the beast. So that's pretty much enough said on Eliza. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know how your shard quests are going, and making sure that you're keeping up to date with all of it. There's normally a few that you can miss out, so don't worry if you're lagging behind a little bit, or busy with work, or whatever else you're busy with. You will be able to get her, and I definitely think she's going to be worth it. So that all said, drop us a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But until the next time, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.